Herbal Medicine Conference, and the theme is Traditional and Herbal Medicine Challenges and Prospects for Translational Research. We want to thank you for your time since Monday arrival, and you are here today, the second day of the conference. We are sure you're enjoying the serene environment in the ancient city of Abeokuta. And this is a beautiful city with peace and security. I want to assure you that today would not be a different one, as you had a nice time yesterday with great and massive impact from our plenary lecturers. We ensure that today will be even hotter and very, very impactful as well.
The truth is that without collaboration, everything we're doing here, and I'll start with a story. Fitting was there yesterday, and I saw an array of natural products, mostly natural products. And I called the leader of the team. Which one is from Nigeria? Not one. Nimeth on the other side. Which one is from Nigeria? Just one. Just one. Sigla Vit that Professor Ibu talked about. And so we started having serious discussion. Why is it that we are getting, even some, they manufacture them here, but the raw materials are imported? Why is it that we're still marketing imported herbal products registered by or listed or registered by NAFDA? And we're here presenting us some wonderful things that we have been doing. There must be a gap, and I know the next speaker, Professor Dr. may talk about it. We started having that discussion, but many years ago, I also began to think, know and work for town and gown collaboration. If we don't have town and gown, there must be something the industry needs that we are not giving them. Hello. Why we get uptake? Some other people's work from outside the country and not uptake ours. I even heard yesterday that our 9% by Emilia Baker is sold for 5,000. Some pediatricians don't know about it. So they cannot even recommend it for their patients. Are you with me? And another person has cloned it or you just tweaked it, gave it another name and is selling in the US for $100 for the same number of tablets or capsules. Are you with me? They say you need to see Professor, is there someone, I've forgotten his name, that manufactures bitter leaf capsules. Professor what?
It's in US.
Yes. He later came here to become a VC and went back to US. And I interacted with him. I also said, I want to supply you bitter leaf. He said, no, I have my own farm, spots. Go and pick one bottle of that bitter leaf capsule. It is how many dollars? And when they bring it to Nigeria, as at that time, it will not be less than 10,000 naira. Just bitter leaf. What is there? Must be something that we're doing. So we need to collaborate more with the industry so that we begin to work with them and know how we can give them what they want. Am I speaking? Because if me and Baker is making money from 9% or 9%, whatever they call it, they will market it. Now we have 90,000 or 5,000 naira. They are not even marketing it. But I'm sure me and Baker is marketing other products. May God help us. We must work together with them. Next slide. I don't want to discuss all the definitions because we've had a lot about them. All we want to know is that consumers are shifting toward that. Me, as a student, I did not like pharmacognosy. We even had Babalawo in Ife that time. Employed. Had an employed Babalawo, we had office. And we take the students for field trip. I just did not like pharmacognosy. It was not my thing at all. We just need to, on the road, we are reading and memorizing the secondary metabolites just to write the exams and pass. These Babalawo people, let's just forget them. When you even see the Babas, I don't want to witchcraft. But if I did well, they employed have a traditional herbalist, and he worked with Professor Shofowara and all that. And through, I think it's from pharmacognosy, we have the DRP. Consumers are shifting to natural remedies, including myself. These days, at least once in a week, I must take a bitter leaf juice. I boil moringa and take and all of that. And it's going to be cheaper. And the trend aligns with the rise of integrating. Either we are integrating or we are complementing. They don't want us to talk about alternative, or we are doing parallel. I think we heard all that yesterday. But there is value. There is value in taking herbal remedies, either for preventive, supplement, or for care. So, in summary, herbal medicine is gaining prominence globally. Next one. Yeah, so, and it is, look at the money that herbal medicine is expected to generate by 2030. So, they cost more. Some of us want to go and buy GNLD. Do you know how much you pay to buy GNLD? What is it, forever? You want to buy forever honey? Just go and try it. But it's the other honey. So if you want, they put gold. What did they even put inside it? You can plug in your house and all that, So is the pharmaceutical giants are collaborating with researchers. I want you to note that for botanical-based drug discoveries. They are looking up to us, and we must give them what they want.
The question is this: do we have commensurate income today from extensive research? Now, when I say research, I was trying to even quantify it before this presentation. So many studies have been done to about medicine in Africa, in sub-Saharan Africa, and more are still being done. Is it fetching on the law? Next slide. I did a little bit about next slide, please. About Nigerian herbal companies. I saw a lot, and this is it's not exotic in any way. There are a lot of herbal companies, fantastic companies, beautiful companies, lovely companies. But all these companies rest within the confines of what we call SMEs. SMEs. I want you to think about all these companies and the other ones. And show me the next slide. And think about it in the light of the fact that Nigeria, the global herbal industry, in 2023 was valued at $216 billion US. Where are we in Nigeria? In sub-Saharan Africa, we build this $216 billion. It's challenging to tell you that more than 40% of this business goes to Europe. Next slide. More than 40% goes to Europe. These are the key players in the herbal industry. Now, Prof was talking that he looked around, and you can see even our Nigerian companies are selling products by some of these companies that are global herbal. They are bringing it into Nigeria. So even when we're talking about traditional Nigerian herbal industry, our own farmers are already promoting. Some of these companies are billion-dollar companies. I want to look at it. I'm going to take Dabo because it's a company that is familiar with us. Dabo is a $2 billion company. Next slide. This is the top few global herbal industry. But let me take Dabo and create a case study around Dabo. Look, if you see I'm eating like just one more time, right. Okay, so this is a product, it's called LTN. It's actually an Ayurveda product. That is tooth powder. I know in this part of the world, we don't use powders to brush our teeth. This product was very successful in India. It was a Dabo product. It's an evolution of an Ayurveda product. But this product will never sell in Nigeria. Next part. But what did they do? They put that red powder inside this toothpaste to give us today a Dabo herbal toothpaste. This toothpaste is being sold in more than 100 countries. It's an extension of that Ayurveda LTN. To take a product that was a traditional herbal Indian product to every country of the world. I'm just sitting down here. Some of you use this beautiful toothpaste that contributes significantly to the $2 billion business of Gabon in India. Why this? Come from Nigeria. Prof talked about Orihata, Pagara. Come next time. Pagara. And they bought a company like Colgate to put Davon on the list of global toothpaste companies. Now today, even Colgate is doing hard. Because somebody actually paved the way. Next time. They said it has a stinging taste. I have used Pagara and it's really fantastic. So, what do we miss out? I want you to focus on this slide. This slide is very important. Very important to what I want to say. Even though I speak on some time. I want to tell you something that is unique. There are some companies. Yes, that's actually what I want to talk about. There are some companies that are called innovation-driven enterprise. As long as we focus on SMEs, and SMEs are fantastic. SMEs are mainstay of developing economies. What innovation are we looking at for? But this fantastic innovation like that. Chrisland came at a time when hydroxyurea was the only product for managing sickle cell globally. Hydroxyurea comes with all its carcinogenic effect. So, what happened to that? Now, a product from a reverend gentleman called Ubuyale at a point was registered patented. However, problem arose when it came to commercialization. So, at the end of the day, they complained that local industry does not want to collect it. They saw it as an expensive investment with a lot of uncertainty. Now, let me tell you something today. Products. The industry does not collect products based on clinical.
I want to see no point to look at the potential of integrated herbal medicine into healthcare. So remember, we are looking at the potential and the challenge. The potential challenges are putting the examples things that is right. So potential. So here we have affordability and cost effectiveness, 100 of this in the days. So herbal medicines are often less expensive. Now sometimes the things are medicine are expensive, but generally they are considered less expensive. About the systemic drugs, making healthcare more affordable for our people, and the low cost of the low incomes and so on, and limited access sometimes to go to the cities, the big cities to buy all kinds of drugs and so on, the transportation. Then we have the cultural relevance and accessibility. Culturally relevant to us. In several countries, herbal medicines are deeply rooted in the culture and the traditions of the people. And so, integrating herbal medicines into formal healthcare system would help to meet the needs of the population that already trusts and uses herbal medicine. We already trust it. So, it seems too difficult to get them to encourage them to recognize it more because of enhanced things that are able to enhance and so on. It also enhances access to care and in rural and underserved communities. See the number of doctors we have. We don't have enough. And so the underserved communities, when we put this together, it's going to save every type of voice for our people. Now, treatments for chronic diseases, I remember I had hinted on this yesterday, that herbal medicines can offer complementary approaches in managing chronic diseases. You know, people think these things very chronic for a very long time. I did say that, and this is one of the reasons why it's so important to do the safety assessment, because if you are living on this, how is it treating your liver? How is it treating your kidney? You know, how is your cholesterol level? How is it doing? If nothing is happening, anyway, that's good. Let's keep it. Let's work it out. Okay. So these are, it's very, very important. You're used to many these things. Mental health, of course, if you have a personalized care, it helps with mental health and so on. It's so abstract, you don't know what's happening, you don't know what's going on and so on. It's closer when you understand it, appreciate it. So we put it together and the ones need to be. Because we can also serve as alternatives When patients experience side effects, some patients have side effects with conventional treatments. And so then you can now put a little bit more weight on the side and reduce the conventional medication. But also set it as a complement. So many patients usually already use it as part of their. So one coming alongside, once it works and there are no problems, beautiful. Then you can match the two together, work the two together. Generalizing this integration could lead to a better patient outcome by providing physicians with more comprehensive information and options for holistic care. Sometimes they are not in it. So that they are not in it. That's why some patients are I find it very interesting when you look at it, it's just exactly like the evidence generally happen in herbal medicine. Traditional studies will try and find something to do with it. Yes. So there's a lower side effect. This is they are considered, but I dare say that it doesn't mean that all herbal medicine are safe. No, it doesn't mean that at all. In fact, years ago, I was going to work together with them.
These are some of the definitions of phytomedicine. We know that there are actually signs of medicine from plants, or we're saying therapeutic and healing properties that are inherent in some plants. And when we talk about clinical applications, how are we going to use this for patient management or treatment? And we know that the phytopharmaceutical preparation are actually medicine exclusively derived from either a whole plant or part of the plant, and they are manufactured either in a crude form or in a purified pharmaceutical formulation. And this is all we are saying. What do we want to do? Going by history, we know that phytomedicine has been with us from creation, and God made it so. And that's why in Genesis, God created these plants for our use in Ezekiel, for our food and for our medicine. And so it's like God knew we would need them, and so He made them available. Like I was talking to some of the poster presenters, I said, our knowledge is so limited, and that's why we destroy plants. After my going for my master's in pharmacology, I have so much passion for plants as much as I have for human beings. And so I discourage the use of herbicide because we destroy a lot of it in caring for one plant. We destroy thousands of others that are actually created for our benefit. But because we lack the understanding, we do this to the plants. And so we have native crops. But in Africa, the secrecy, you want to protect your territory because that's the source of food. And that plant, the painter that they said had died in penury. Yes, people who has this knowledge in our own African something wants to protect it. And my Yoruba people says, Afo Sinuku Yiniyi. Meaning, if you hide that medical thing, the herbal thing for curing people until you die, nobody respects you. And so many people die with that knowledge because they never gave the secrets to anyone until they die. That happens a lot in the villages. I say, this man is dead now. We don't even know the secret of how he was taking care of this particular ailment or the other. So let's go ahead to the next slide. Yeah, how common is the use? In fact, it should be an overemphasis if I continue to tell you that even WHO knows that herbal medicine, whether we want to accept it as clinicians or not, forms a major backbone in managing people, especially in rural communities. Let me tell you how these are not brought on me. And why did I even go into pharmacology? As a child, we have this sweet leaf or missing. I don't even, my problem with the botanical name is another challenge. So this missing is a leaf, green, small leaves that when you squeeze it, the fluid is sweet. And I think that's where we borrow all cough syrups and sweet. God made it sweet. So we were drinking it. So as I was growing up, my dad, when he prepared something, okay, maybe you have abdominal pain. And I would say, I don't want to take drug made with hands. If you want to go for washing. So my father would say, go and take the one they use leg to prepare. And I never knew I would learn myself in loving herbal medicine. To the extent that currently, when I have an ailment, the first thing that comes to me is that, is there no herbs that can manage this? I'm a clinician, I won't do that to patient, but for myself, yes, I will think, oh, is there no herbs that can take care of this my problem? That's how much I'm falling in love with herbal medicine. Let's go into so it's revolutionizing and strengthening foundation of healthcare, and that's why we have to really work on this. And I love all the topics that have. So we use it a lot, so there's no gainsaying. Now, yes, and when we talk about big common, it is very common. And we know that the major way we prepare them are see either we recruit, okay, like majority of what I use, I'll say the group preparation, and they are working. In fact, that's why, I mean, okay, let me just go ahead. Either we crush them. There's a leaf, it's one of the bryophyllum. I collected it during my ethnobotanical survey, and I have so many little quantity of collection of herbal medicine in my compound. So this one, I planted it. If you have severe headache, you just pluck the leaf and just pass it over flame to make it, and you rub it and you put it on the head, and that headache disappears, except you have a tumor or something. So, I mean, today I talked, discussing with Professor Babalola, he said, maybe it has this, it has a pharmacological way of you saying it when something is acting from the surface and is having an analgesic property. But whatever reason, the way it's working, the mechanism of action, we don't know. But it has helped people. In fact, my driver was one of the beneficiaries of that. He had taken all the analgesic and he wasn't getting better. So he just remembered that I told him that I brought something like that and sent the wife to plug the leaf, and he got over the headache.
And for it to actually be meaningful, just as I was saying before, not to be something that to be a local thing, it is important for it to be scientific in a way, and some of the experimental evidence is to show and confirm that all we have been saying, that most of the herbs that we have mentioned, they actually work. And I will give some preclinical data which one way or the other have been validated, and some are still awaiting validation, subjected to what clinical trial. Accessibility, as I have been saying, you have a wuro, you have bitter leaf at the back of your house, you can have access to that. Low cost, even though we have been told that it may appear as if it's not costly, but when it comes to processing, it is actually very expensive. Efficacy of the treatment, all right? It is very, very effective, just as we have been told. And as the last resort, we are not permitted to share personal testimony. A woman was sharing with me testimony about her husband that have been in the hospital, and the doctors have prescribed a series of conventional drugs, and the husband seemed not to be improving. But by the time they turn to traditional medicine, as last a result, there is a more significant improvement. Next slide. So plants have been shown to be what major source of herbal compounds. Next slide. Plant-derived phytochemicals, some of them are like aspirin from plants, cocaine, codeine, artemisinin that is used now as an anti-malaria from plant. Next slide. Now, polypharmacology, is important that we note this. All right? Polypharmacology is like a phenomenon in which several compounds put together, not a single compound, a target, series of a target, multi-targets. And that is the reason why it appears that such compounds or such a complex compounds are more effective than single active compounds. Next slide. So the merits of a polypharmacology is that of improved efficacy, additive effect, synergistic interaction, that is one compound plus another compound, maybe 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, combined together are more effective than one single compound. Now, interdisciplinary and collaborative approach, that is actually the title of the work. We have been told that we need to validate the project and project herbal medicine. Certain approaches must be engaged in. Number one, need to standardize active components and phytochemicals. We have heard again and again about standardization. Diseases have pathways and cellular and molecular targets. That is the reason why many times, even though complex medicinal plants may be very effective, but they do not have a defined pharmacological properties because you are dealing with a several compound. Take for instance, you have a bitter leaf and you just grind it or mash it. There are thousands of compounds there. Which one is targeting this disease? Which one is targeting that? That is the reason why you may not get result or be able to project such a compound on a large scale because you need to identify and know the components that are there and how they target diseases. Because take for example cancer, there are several targets. Okay, if you want to tackle cancer, take for example COVID. It's not just one. There are several molecular targets and cellular targets. So you need to know the pathway and a particular compound to be able to target that. So safety and toxicity profile is also very important. We have said that because we are dealing with traditional medicine, that doesn't mean that all of them are safe. There is a need for them to pass toxicity tests and for them to actually be safe in order to be able to be administered to humans.
Flashback COVID-19, you look at the mortality ratio of COVID-19 across continent. Look at Africa, very small. Look at other continent, Europe, America, very high mortality. But Africa, we have very small mortality. Why? People are saying because we had sun, we were exposed to sun. People are saying we took a lot of supplement, which is very true. And because of that, we had very low mortality. You could hear what the DVC said concerning that. And why a lot of herbal supplements are anti-inflammatory, free radical scavenging, antioxidant, immune boosting, immune modulating, antiviral, antifungal, antibacterial, anti-diabetic, anti-aging, anti-malaria, anti-parasitic, anti-hypertensive. I can go on and go on and go on. That's why they're very, very important. And why are we pushing this? Global Health, WHO says we need to upscale implementation or use of herbal medicine, very correct. We need to integrate phytomedicine to curriculum for healthcare. Somebody has said that before, a professor has spoken on that. We need to openness medical review of phytotherapies. I'm going to be sharing few experiences we've had on this area. And then my emphasis as a research scientist is increased clinical development of phytotherapies. Next slide, please. Now look at this. There was a study we did in 2017. My topic is field experience. This study was conducted in 2017. Look at the rate or percentage of herbal supplement listed by NAFDAC. You have the NAFDAC manual said that yesterday. 80% listed, 20% unlisted. 20% registered. In other words, over, let's say about 100,000 herbal supplement out there, only 20% of them have undergone clinical trial, and so they are fully registered. NAFDAC registers a supplement when it has undergone full clinical trial. So 20% of them are registered, over 80% are registered, meaning that once they get listed, everybody disappears and they go ahead and enjoy the money. So this is empirical. Next slide, please. So our focus as a research team is on infectious disease, COVID-19, non-communicable disease, diabetes, and then reproductive health, infertility. These are where we are focused on clinical trial in the last few years ago. Now, 2 years ago, about recently 2023, we advocated the need for clinical development of phytotherapies. Clinical development of phytotherapies based on the disease body in Africa, disease body in Nigeria, based on a lot of issues within African continent. If you go to clinicaltrial.gov, the number of clinical trials ongoing in Africa, precisely in Nigeria, is far low compared to other parts of the world. And that's very, very unfortunate. So we made a case that Africa has a lot of phytotherapies, let's take it higher to clinical development. This was in 2023 last year. So what have we done so far? During COVID-19, you have the visit talk in the morning about COVID-5, which have renamed COVID-19. We gave a patient this supplement we developed. This was done in University College of Ibadan. And then we monitored the patient for about 5 days. The 6th day, the patient left the clinic, never went to isolation. Was fine, went home, perfect. So we studied the case report, and then we wrote it up, and it was published in Journal of Complementary Integrative Medicine. All right, next slide. Now, again, we went higher and did a case stories of patients who had COVID-19, about 15 of them. We followed them up for about 5 days, gave them the supplement Combicin we prepared, followed them up strictly on Combicin. We followed them up, and then 6th day after, they all went home. So this case series, of course, case series has more evidence than case report. So we definitely could conclude that Combi5 could help in managing antiviral diseases and improving quality of health of people who are infected with the virus. Next slide, please. Now, we had to talk about beta-cola. Beta-C was a study we did, I think, 2019. This one was also done in University College of Ibadan. It was a clinical study that we investigated patients with diabetic and diabetic foot ulcers, chronic foot ulcers, using standardized beta-cola and this is beta-cola. 500 milligrams of beta-cola. So when we talk about standardization, it's not rocket science. You can precisely calculate 500 milligrams of beta-cola and 250 milligrams of beta-cola. We did this and then supplemented it on diabetics. Those with DM and those with DM plus foot ulcer. And our result was quite interesting. Very interesting.
The land is green, it's green, oh, oh. The land is green, it's green, can't you see? The harvest is ready, 'cause the Lord of the harvest told me so. It's green for me. It's green for me. Standing alone can be a heavy load, but my vows I won't be breaking. Though my heart is aching, I got a word and I won't let go. It's your will I'm seeking, so I keep on believing. I see it now, I understand, I know, so I embrace it, dance. Once again it's time for me to grow. For every prayer and every tear I've sown, Lord of the harvest knows I'm reaping joy 100-fold. The land is green, it's green,